Today is Saturday, December 11th, 2021, and we are going to the casino. In this part of the country, they just reopened tournaments since COVID, so they have a $160 buy-in, I think, tournament. We're going to see how many players we can get. If not, we'll try to play some cash. Hopefully we don't have any troubles filming. That would be nice. We don't get kicked out or anything mid-tournament. That would be terrible. Well, we were going to play a tournament today. But this individual looked up a casino about 6 hours away from us that has the same name as the one we were going to. So there's no tournament at this casino that we're going to. So we switched route. We're just going to play cash today and head to a different casino for a shorter trip. So we arrive at the casino and we jump right into a $1, $3 no limit hold'em game. We buy in for $400, and the very first hand we are dealt is ace queen off. We have two limpers. We're in middle position and we raise to $25. We get called by the button and the two limpers. The flop comes down jack 3-3. The two limpers check and I check. The button bets 25. Two limpers fold, and we float to a turn of a 4. I don't remember the suit. We check it again, and he jams all in for $85, and we fold. Been here for about 30 minutes, haven't had much action. We played one hand, missed straight draw and flush draw, got called down by 8-3 offsuit, and with a pair of 8s. And we lost about 125 in that one. We pick up 10-4 of diamonds in the big blind, and this game is playing pretty loose. It's like 1-3-6. A lot of people straddling, so there's a $15 raise and 3 callers. So we elect to call in the big blind with our 10-4 suited. The pot odds are just pretty good here, and if we spike something, I think it could, really pay us off. So the flop comes down beautifully. 10-4 spades, 7 of clubs. And rather than check and to induce a bet to check raise, we decided to go for an over pot size bet here to make it look like we're on a flush draw or just have top pair and don't want any callers. So we just lead here with $100 bet, and everyone decides to fold, and we take it down with 2 pair. Okay, so in this hand, we are dealt ace-king of clubs. He raises to 15, and we like to 3-bet him to 45. Everyone else folds back to him, and he decides to make the call here. So we're going 2 ways to a flop of 10-9-5 rainbow. He checks, and we elect to check it back for pot control. A lot of times I'm going to bet, but I'm kind of suspicious of this player. He seems to be really hot, and I just have a feeling he's not going to fold. So we check, and the turn is a offsuit 8. And at this point, he elects to lead out and bet $50. Like I said, he doesn't seem like he's gotten out of line. I think he's kind of just bet the hands he has, or maybe sometimes slow play, but seems like he kind of knows what he's doing. He has a basketball jersey on, sunglasses. So we think it over for a minute, and we decide on a fold. And when we do fold, he shows us a 10 for top pair, and he'll take it down. We didn't get this next hand recorded. Pretty straightforward hand, though. We are in the big blind with king-queen offsuit. There's one limp, and someone opens to $20. Folds to us, and we decide to flat call since we're out of position. And the original limper also calls behind. Flop comes down queen-queen 7 quite beautifully, and we check. The original limper checks, and the original raiser decides to bet with a $30 bet. We just flat call here, hoping to get paid on later street, and the original limper decides to just jam for 175. Comes back to the raiser, and he decides to think about it for a while, and then fold. We insta call, and he shows us queen 5 of hearts, and the run out's clean, and we scoop a nice pot. So just 2 hands after the king queen hand, we pick up ace spades, 8 of diamonds. There's a limp in early position, and then a raise in middle position to 20. We decide to call on the button. The early position limper also calls. He's very loose, very crazy action, and the other guy's pretty aggressive and willing to bluff. So we go ahead and call to a pot of $60 and a flop of queen 8 6 2 clubs, 8 and 6 of clubs, and early position guy checks, and the original raiser bets $20, and we go ahead and call, looking to possibly take away some turns, and the early position player also calls. The turn is the deuce of spades, doesn't really change much for us, and early position checks, middle position bets $40, and we decide to call again. Early position folds. The river comes the 3 of spades, and the original raiser elects to go big with a bet of 125. We think about it for a long time, knowing his normal huge bets could mean a bluff or a made hand. We elect to call as a bad play and lose a big pot. So in this hand, we're in middle to late position with 4 5 of spades, and there's about 5 limpers. We limp in, and this hand is pretty much against the same villain as the last ace-8 hand, and we come to a flop of king of spades, 5 of hearts, 7 of clubs, and the villain bets leads out for 15. He's in the small blind, and quick note about the hand, he wasn't going to play the hand when it came to him, but then he decided, what the heck, why not? And I kind of narrowed his range there to like a gapper, maybe suited gapper, unsuited gapper, just something that was, not very strong. And 2 other players call the 15, including myself, which brings us to a turn of the 2 of spades. And action checks to me, and I go ahead and bet $50 here with our backdoor flush draw. With our flush draw, backdoor flush draw. And the 5, I think, is also a good river card for us to have the best hand if we are behind here. And we get a fold from behind us, and then our villain elects to check raise here to 150. The other player folds, and it comes back to us, and I feel like here, with the flush draw and the 5 as outs if he has a hand, I think we're really good here, because I feel like he has to have a 2-pair type hand. Maybe 5-7, maybe 5 deuce. Obviously our 5 isn't good if he has those 2 types of hands. If he has king 7, 7 deuce, anything like that, the 5 then becomes good. So we think about it for a while, and we decide to go ahead with a call, and the river is beautiful. It is a 6 of spades, giving us the flush. So he decides to just go ahead and rip out their $125. Now, if I had known that he wasn't quite paying attention as much, I would have raised here. But when he leads for 125 on the river, it kind of just looks super strong. I did put him on 2-pair, but is it possible he has higher spades than me? Yeah, I think as a kind of a weak play, I elect just to call here instead of going with my read. And we call, and I say flush, and he's like, oh my gosh, I didn't even see that there was a flush. And he announced he had 2-pair. And in hindsight, I kind of wish I would have raised here and trusted my read, but I didn't. It was quite a big pot for us to win. So we took that one down. So sadly, I wasn't able to record everything there. So I'm using a picture, overlay some stuff. In this hand, we pick up 6-8 suited on the button, and there is 1 limp, and a loose player to my right raises to $21. I call, in position, and the limper ends up calling behind me. We come to a flop of 4, 5, 9 rainbow, and immediately the limper donk leads for 25. The original raiser folds, and I call due to it being a very disguised gut shot. And if the 7 comes on the turn, I don't really see how he's going to put us on 6-8 here. It's the only hand that would make the straight. So we go ahead and call, and to our beautiful surprise, the 7 of diamonds flops off on the turn, which brings the board a complete rainbow, and he decides to lead out at us again for $25. Here we definitely are not raising because we want to keep everything in his range here since we have the nuts, and since we're not worried about any draws. So we just call in position, and not so great river comes of an 8, which pretty much gives a 4-liner on the board, kind of killing our action. We were more looking for like a jack or a queen or a deuce, maybe even an ace. But I mean, that could have killed our action too if he had something like 9s, or I mean, a 10 would have been beautiful. He had a hand like 9-10, give him 2 pair, whatever. But he checks it over to us, and we decide to bet here for value, clearly, $50. And he thinks about it for a minute and makes the call, and we scoop a nice pot. Okay guys, so I'm really sorry about how terrible this first video was, and the next one is definitely going to be different. We're going to do some different things. I just wanted to say that I ended up in this game for 1100 and cashed out 1215 over the 4 hours, so we did turn a profit. There was a bunch of hands that I didn't really get to record or get in there that were $40 or $50 pots that I just picked up, and that ended up leading me to being able to profit. There were quite a few of those pots. I left a lot of those out because I figured that it was just better for me to move on from the first video and realize all the mistakes I made, whether it be recording or my note taking during sessions and whatnot. So here I am, just gonna head to the cashier, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash that like and subscribe button with a hammer or a drill of any sort. And if you want some run good next time you play in poker or just in life in general, all you have to do is pray to the poker gods and to GH Poker, and we will show up and give you an amazing river card that you have always wanted. Till next time, hope you guys be well and take care of yourselves.